Hi, welcome to Gemstone Tarot. This is a reading for the full moon eclipse in Sagittarius on the 26th of May 2021. Okay, now it differs a little if you're in Australia or America or the UK. The timing of it is slightly different, so just Google it and have a look when it's coming up for you. But it's around the 26th, and this is for any star sign. We are going to throw some cards and have a look, that's one, at your love life. Ooh, King of Wands, and see what's coming in for you, see what's blocking you, seeing what's, good for you, bad for you. We don't know. There will be, Ace of Cups. If this resonates with you, I will do an extended reading, and the link will be in the description box below the video. In the extended, we take it further, we just dig deeper, and we do some channeling, we do some different cards, different collections, different decks, and we dig really deep. We see what's going on, okay? So if it resonates with you, wow, I'm getting distracted by these cards. If it resonates with you, the link's in the description box. Let's get on with this. Okay. Whew. Nice to get the Ace of Cups in a love reading and in the upright. Tickety-boo. With the Seven of Swords. Okay, got my hot lemon drink. People. Okay. Hello, Knight of Cups. Overall energy, Knight of Cups. Here he is with his flowers. Yeah, it's got a nod to the horse in the background from the Rider-Waite, which I like. It's a delivery. And it's not a pizza. Well, it might be, if you like pizza. It's a delivery. It's the need for someone to come forward and step up and say something and do something and be something, and probably has something to do with convention and commitment. Okay? We've got the Hierophant. The Hierophant is, sometimes it's shown as the High Priest. Sometimes it's Chiron, the wounded healer. He's in a cave. The Hierophant represents hierarchy. It represents marriage, institutions, all that kind of stuff. And it feels like there is an issue in this reading for some of you who are connected to somebody that is to do with bedding in. It's to do with commitment. It's to do with not wanting to have to pin somebody, down to something. My mum has a saying, and I don't know where it came from, but it's very good. A volunteer is worth 10 pressed men. I've used it a lot in my life, and it's very true. And another message that's kind of coming into my ear with this is, if I have to tell you, it's no good. And this is the eternal kind of romantic argument between a couple, isn't it? I want you to know without me telling you, and if I have to spell it out to you, I don't even want it. I'm feeling that in these cards. Okay. Part of the reason I say that is because we've got this Knight of Cups, which is setting up an expectation of an offering, of someone coming forward, of someone making a declaration, of somebody claiming something. And then Major Arcana, we've got the Emperor in the reverse. Now, the Emperor is traditionally the father of the tarot. You've got the Empress and the Emperor. And when the Emperor's in reverse, there is a need that is not being met for leadership, for stepping up, for claiming, for being upfront, for the kind of divine masculine energy that is needed so that the other person doesn't swim around in doubt. What happens when we swim around in doubt, which I think some of us are, is that we make things up. And invariably, being human, the things we make up are usually twice as bad as the actual reality. But we all want to be in a position with somebody, in a connection, where we don't have to make things up, because even if we don't fully understand it, the other person has expressed their feelings. There is something here about there being a lot of feelings under the surface which are not being expressed. Okay, Emperor's in reverse, like, where are you? It's like, where are you? Literally, I can hear you, where are you? And underneath him, we've got the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is like a social media card. It can be the card of spying. Some of you may be looking for your person or looking for answers online, in terms of looking at their Facebook, looking at, you know, I mean, I'm an oldie now really, so I don't know about things like Snapchat and things, but looking at that kind of stuff, you know, Snapchat, social media, Instagram, all of that malarkey. It's not going to give you a completely accurate picture of this person, but it might be better than nothing is what you're thinking at the moment. Okay. But there is some kind of drive here for comfort. We've got this Four of Swords, and I love this card. It's a need to feel comfortable. It's so that, you know, when we feel really loved and really appreciated, we can finally relax. And a lot of us as human beings have a lot of insecurity. We have some neediness. And I think, you know, neediness gets a bad name. We're all needy. We're human, you know, it's how we're kind of born. We have needs. Needs are exciting, and needs are what drive relationships. Otherwise, why would we bother with relationships if we didn't feel the need and seek to get it met? So I think a message that I'm getting from this reading for you is don't be ashamed of the needs that you have. Okay, however it's going on the other side of things, don't be ashamed of having them. It's a very precious thing to have them, and it really does make you human. It makes you emotional. There's nothing wrong with being emotional. Okay, in fact, there's everything right with being emotional. It takes more courage to be emotional than it does to be shut down. Okay. On the side of the reading here, I've got the Six of Swords. Such a beautiful deck, this Lightseer's Tarot. Six of Swords always has a notion of somebody getting in the boat and going away from something. And they're generally thought in tarot, when you get the Six of Swords, it's generally thought that you're moving to something better, that you're moving from erratic, stormy waters. You're being kind of rescued in the boat, and it's about time, you know, it's that sort of feeling. For this, I don't necessarily get that you have escaped or that you will escape, but I do get the feeling that fight or flight is coming into this connection. You're feeling like you don't know whether to flee or whether to stay, or whether this is somebody being uncertain, or whether it's somebody who isn't on the same page as you and you'd just rather you knew that. A lot of you here are dealing with a fire sign, because the first one that pops out is this gorgeous King of Wands. Now, the King of Wands, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. He can be a difficult dog to keep on the porch, you know, that's his thing. He can range from entertaining and, you know, happy in his own skin, good dancer, and what am I doing? This is a really bad chair salsa. I can hear the music, I know you can't. Okay, King of Wands he can be a player, is what I'm trying to say. But also he can just be really entertaining and a breath of fresh air. It runs the gambit. He's not in reverse. So we like it. When he's in reverse, it's more of the kind of spoiled player energy. But he's not. He's in the upright. So I like this. We have here an image of someone who is confident in lots of ways, but also maybe a bit erratic and insecure in others. There's certainly a strong connection here. We've got the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands is the 1111 card. It's a connection card. you've got the festival going on in the background, but often I see the Four of Wands as a portal. You know, it's a portal to something that is more in the kind of 5D. So it feels like there is great connection between you and this person, but it feels like there is some motivational thing missing. There is some initiation missing. The fact they haven't initiated as much as you would like comes up. It's a full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. It's about Jupiter. It's about finding out what is superficial, what is extra, what is unnecessary, what is not quite real for you. It feels like Sagittarius is the energy of truth. And sometimes the truth comes at a cost. And I don't think you mind that cost. I think you just want that truth. And why wouldn't you want that truth? The truth is really reassuring. When we don't quite know what we're dealing with a person, like I said, we make up stories, we go into fantasy land, we talk to our friends, and we overanalyze. It's just the way it is. We overanalyze all the texts, we pass the text around about 3 different people, you know, and it gets analysed like some sort of quadratic equation of love, doesn't it? It's like, well, there was no kiss on that bit, no X on that, 3 dots on that bit, and a dash. What does the dash mean? Oh my God, what does the dash mean? So just be careful of that kind of energy. I mean, I've done a lot of that in my time, and just in my experience, it gets you nowhere at all closer to the truth. We're going back to my mum saying a volunteer is worth 10 pressed men. You want something volunteered. Knight of Cups. I'm volunteering something. I'm telling you something. I'm giving you something. I'm telling you what I want. Okay. In the middle of the reading, one of the only other major arcanas we've got is the Judgment card. Now, when you get the Judgment card, it is a card of past, present, and future. Very often with the Judgment card, we have 3 figures on the bottom. They're either little kind of mummies coming out of tombs, which is a bit creepy, or they can sometimes be 3 rabbits or 3 people, 3 ghosts, whatever it is. Judgment has a sense of resurrection. It comes just before the World card, second to last of the major arcana. It's like when your life flashes before you. It's like when, you know, everything is presented to you before the end and you review it. Now, we're coming into Mercury Retrograde on the 29th of May. For me, it combines with the energy of the full moon lunar eclipse into a big soup of finding things out, because full moons are revelatory, but also the things you find out go back to the past because of the retrograde nature. And also, I think what we're going to find in terms of our love life here is that, yes, we find out new things, we find out the truth in some respect, but also it's never the whole story when Mercury's retrograde. It's the truth for now, subject to change. Subject, is it TBC, to be confirmed? Because truth evolves when Mercury's retrograde, and it's retrograde pretty much till the end of June, once you count in the shadow period. So think of the whole of June as this scenario playing out, as the scenario of somebody coming forward with something, which for some of you might be a bit of a confession. For others of you, it might be a declaration. But whatever it is, it has its roots in before. In other words, this has come up before. You've either had this discussion before, or you've thought about it before, or it's come up with an ex before, and it's like, same you know what, different park. Here we are again, you know, with the same scenario. Okay, it's giving me an itchy nose. 7 of Swords. Hello, 7 of Swords. Okay, traditionally known as the Thief card, and a little bit of a snake in the grass card. Seven of Swords is a powerful card. We've got everything happening under the moonlight. So we got our fat full moon here that's beautiful. And when we get the Seven of Swords, it does have the energy of betrayal and thieves and all that stuff. But it also has the energy of somebody doing what they need to do at the time to preserve their own sanity, dignity, whatever. It's being political with a small p. It's about timing. Some of you are dealing with somebody who has not felt able to open up to you at this moment until, I don't know, I think they will start to open up to you in some way in June, but I think the energy of the eclipse triggers it a bit, and it's much needed. But also, I don't think this is a person that can be rushed. I think on the outside, this person seems really confident. And if you were to see them at work, or you were to see them in a nightclub or a bookshop or whatever, you would think, yeah, that person's really got it together. There's something about this person that I think is not entirely confident. They're not quite as confident as they seem. Also, for some of you, this person is, I don't know, there is just something here about compromise. They may just have something going on somewhere which they consider to be, I don't know, I'm going to take a shadow card for this because I can't put it into words. And that usually means I'm onto something. King of Wands has a chink in his armour. That's what I'm trying to say. They may have a past they don't want you to know about, or a past they don't want to talk about. They don't want to focus on. Yes. Yes. So you might be dealing here as well with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, particularly Aquarius, I would say. We've got the Five of Swords as the shadow card. This is Venus in Aquarius. People who have Venus in Aquarius are often compartmentalizing in their relationships. I say that just from personal experience because I have Venus in Aquarius. I'm a soppy Piscean, but I've got Venus in Aquarius. It gives you a certain mode of detachment. Sometimes this comes across as disinterest. Sometimes it comes across as sharp logic. In this case, I don't think they are disinterested, but I can see how they make you think they were. Okay, it's making my nose itch again. The Ace of Cups, people, the Ace of lovely cups. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So you might be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio with a fire sign or an air sign. It's very often that combination. Or the other way round. Yes, I've just heard, it's weird because I haven't put the video out yet, but I can hear one of you going, but I'm an Aquarius and they're a water sign or whatever it is. Okay, yeah. I don't think the Seven of Swords is the sneaky thief card in this scenario. I call it out, and if you watch my dailies, and by the way, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more of these and the daily readings and your individual star sign readings. If the Seven of Swords is the sneaky beaky card, I'll tell you, okay, they're sneaking around or there's something going on or I don't like the look of it. I've had to do that quite a lot recently in the monthlies because it just came up and I can't avoid it. It's not what I get for this. I feel like what's coming up for you in the full moon eclipse is a time of openness, truth, and revelation. And I don't think that's always easy for somebody, but it will be twice as good for the fact you didn't push them for it, and twice as good that they volunteered it is what I'm trying to say. they need to turn that Emperor around. There's only one card in reverse here, and it's the Emperor. It's the card of taking charge, stepping up and being there, you know. In the extended reading for this, I'm going to look into that Seven of Swords more. I'm going to look into, we always do a how they feel about you in the extended reading. We look at it, we try and see it through their eyes, okay? We try and see it from their side, as we always should. Woof. And I'm going to look at the potential and what can happen after Mercury goes direct. And also, what is the best course of action for you? That's what we're here for. Okay, this is very interesting. Chuck Spezzano love cards. We get the problem card of drought. When you get drought, it's like a plant that wants or needs to be watered. You're like, I'm thirsty. Give me water. Water me, for God's sake. But I don't want to have to tell you to water me. I want you to know yourself, okay? And also that watering or that plant thing, that kind of need for that, can be a need for information. You know, when someone tells you, when they confess, when they give you the truth of how they're feeling, whatever it is, it nurtures us. It makes us grow. That's what water does. We get the problem card of cynicism, someone who feels cynical about love. The person that you're dealing with has a lot of fears about being vulnerable, okay? But also, you may find you have fears of your own. So I think you need also to check in with yourself about past experiences, being burned by people and being taken for a ride, you know, and all that kind of energy. And just make sure you're not putting, it's very difficult for us. It's difficult when you have had some bad experiences, you know, whether it's in relationship or just a string of terrible dates, or, you know, whether it's in your family, your childhood, you know, trust issues, all those things are really important. But also, in order for this person to come forward and in order for this person to feel like a volunteer, in a way, they need you to trust in them, even before they've proved it to you. And that's a weird concept, but it's a beautiful thing, okay? And then we get the luck card of sensuality. This is really nice. Do you remember we were talking about the King of Wands and I did my terrible chair salsa dance, which I'm doing again. I mean, I've got the music in me, what can I say? But I'm feeling there's some skin in this, you know, there's some sensual energy going on between the two of you. And that sensual energy is quite an emotional connection. It's really hard to explain, but it feels like the two of you are emotionally connected through skin. I know that sounds really strange. Skin on skin contact of whatever kind, like holding hands, you know, it doesn't have to be like that. It can be the holding hands thing. Okay, here's your oracle card. We get serendipity. Nice energy. Sometimes, you know, when we're making up all the bad stories at 4 o'clock in the morning and, you know, worrying about things, we forget that random good stuff happens for no apparent reason. And that's what that card is. There's some nice energy with the connection that you have with this person. There's some fiery energy. There's this beautiful Ace of Cups energy. And you might be feeling that that's a bit out of reach. But I feel like it comes into sharp focus after we've had this eclipse, and that Mercury retrograde very strongly brings this back to you. For one or two of you, this might be somebody that you've separated from, that's in the past in a way, coming back in with the Judgment card. We'll see if the Six of Cups comes up in the extended, because that's always a big clue when you get the Judgment card. Okay, I'm going to go do the extended, look at how they feel about you. The link is in the description box. Do subscribe to the channel, switch on the wiggly bell, and I will see you soon. Namaste.